Today I'm going to transform Minecraft's mobs into a character from Italian Brain Hot, which is that weird meme on TikTok, which is about tralalero tralala. And in addition, I'm going to have a battle between the characters to decide who is the strongest of all. So let's go to the first mob that I'm going to transform, which will be the pig, and he'll become the Chimpanzini Bananini. I have the 3D model of the pig here in the 3D program. So the first thing I'm going to do is erase all the parts of his body. I'm going to start creating this character with that part of the banana. So I'm going to create this cube like this. Now I'm going to create another one turned to the side and another one turned up. Before making the chimpanzee's head, which is on top of the banana, I need to make its peel. So I'm going to create a cube like this, create one turned to the side, select these two parts, and copy them to the other sides. On top of the banana, I'm going to create a cube like this to be the chimpanzee's head. Create a cube like this to be the face. This other one will be the mouth. And create another cube to be the ear. To make the texture, first I'm going to start by painting this part of his face pink. Paint the banana yellow and the monkey's fur green. In this part of the banana, I'm going to paint a slightly lighter yellow. Now I'm going to make some details with a slightly darker color. I'm going to use a lighter color here. Make this part in the middle, and that's perfect. I'm going to do the same thing with the banana peel. I'm going to create it first with a slightly darker color, and then I'm going to use a lighter color right in the middle, and I think that's perfect. After spending a lot of time making the other parts, I have to make the chimpanzees first. So for that reason, I'm going to use a darker green, and I'm going to go to the lightest green. Now, I just need to make his mouth, his eyes, and add some more shading details. And this is how Chimpanzee Bananini looks in Minecraft, guys. He's like a chimpanzee that keeps jumping around. And in fact, he turned out really cool. I really like the 3D model of the banana, and he doesn't stop walking. Looking at his face, he really does look like Chimpanzini Bananini. To get a better look at this character, I'm going to click on this X so he stays still. That way, you can see all the details of Chimpanzini Bananini. I tried to make it as faithful as possible to the character, but in a Minecraft version. I think this turned out really well for a Minecraft version. I made the banana peel, I made the chimpanzee up here, even his color, which is green and pink. In my opinion, this character turned out really nice, and that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10. And now, let's move on to the next mob that I'm going to transform here, which will be the dolphin. And he's going to become the tralalero tralala. This is the 3D model of the dolphin. So the first thing I'm going to do, obviously, is to erase everything. I'm going to start by making the tralalero tralala from his belly, like this. I'm going to create a cube like this to be the top of his head, and this other one will be the mouth. Create a cube like this to be a part of his body, and make another smaller one to be the tail. At the end, I'm going to make a fin like this. Make another one underneath, create another fin here, one on the side and the other. If I'm not mistaken, there's another one here on top of his head, and another one a little further back. On the side of his body, I'm going to make a fin like this. Under this fin, I'm going to create several cubes like this to be the sneakers. I'm going to select all these parts, duplicate them to the side, and copy the sneakers to the back fin. To make the texture, first I'm going to start painting everything dark blue. I'm going to paint his sneakers light blue, and I'm going to paint the bottom of tralalero tralala white. I'll paint his mouth with red paint, and now I just need to add a few more details to his sneakers. And I spent a lot more time improving the texture of his body. And this is how tralalero tralala turned out in Minecraft, guys. Look how cool. He really is a dolphin that turned into this shark. And guys, this mob looks very similar to the real character. He's literally a shark wearing 3 Nike sneakers. And if I spawn him underwater, he swims very fast, just like a dolphin. That makes a lot of sense because tralalero tralala is a shark. But what I want to see is if he's as strong as Chimpanzini Bananini. So for that reason, I'm going to spawn tralalero tralala here and Chimpanzini Bananini here. So I'm going to click on these two characters using this wand. And the battle between Chimpanzini Bananini and tralalero tralala will begin. Who will win? And Chimpanzini Bananini won. This means that Chimpanzini Bananini won a diamond block while tralalero tralala won a redstone block. And now, let's move on to the next mob that I'm going to transform, which will be the horse. And it will become Tung 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 Sarhur. Here is the 3D model of the horse. So I'm going to erase all the parts of his body. I'm going to start by making Tung 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 Sahur with his foot. Make the leg, select these parts, and duplicate them. I'm going to make a cube like this to be his torso. This cube on the side will be his right arm, and besides that, I have to make him holding a stick. Now I'm going to make a cube like this to be his eye. Make the other one. This one here will be the nose, and this other cube will be the mouth. To make the texture, I'm going to paint him all brown, like this. Now, I'm going to paint his mouth like this. Paint his eyes white and make these details black. With a darker color, I'm going to add a little more detail to the stick. I'm going to do the same thing on his torso, going from a darker color to a lighter color. Now, make the details on his face and foot. And once everything is ready, this is how Tung 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 Sahur turned out. Check it out, guys. How cool. He looks a lot like the original character. He's like a stump made entirely of wood. And here in Minecraft, Minecraft, he looks a lot like that. And since he's a horse, I can probably click on him and ride him. Guys, look how cool. But first I need to give him some golden apples. And now he'll let me ride him. My buggy character looks a little weird here, but this tung Sahur is really cool. But what I really want to see is if he's strong. So first I'm going to do a battle against Chimpanzini Bananini. Who do you think will win? Come on, come on. Chimpanzini Bananini, come on. Who will win? And tung Sahur won. Now it's against Tralalero Tralala. Let's see who will win. Come on. Who do you think will win? Who are you rooting for? Come on. Look, Tralalero Tralala won. This means that now all the characters are tied. So let's move on to the next mob that I'm going to transform here, which will be the cow. And she will become La Vaca Saturno Saturnita. And here is the model of the cow. So first, as you already know, I'm going to erase it all. So the first thing I'm going to start doing is the planet, which will be this cube here. I'm going to create this cube to be Saturn's ring. I'm going to make a small cube underneath to be its leg. Make a piece of the foot, create this cube to be the rest, and this small cube will be the big toe. I'm going to select all the parts and duplicate them to the side. And now I just need to make the head of the cow. Make a horn, repeat the same thing on the other side, make an ear, create another one, and the 3D model is ready. Now I just need to make the texture. And to do that, I'm going to start by painting its foot this color. I'm going to paint the planet with a very light blue. I'm going to paint Saturn's ring gray, and the head of the cow white with brown details. I'm going to paint the horns with this color. I'm going to draw the snout in black like this, and I'm going to add a pink detail around it. After that, I spent a good amount of time improving the texture of the planet and the feet. And La Vaca Saturno Saturnita ended up like this here in Minecraft, guys. She looked very similar to the real character. As you can see, I made the planet like Saturn, and I made the cow's head here too. Not to mention that her feet are gigantic. And the coolest thing about all this is that there really is a cow in Minecraft. Therefore, I can collect milk from La Vaca Saturno Saturnita. Here are all the characters I've created so far. And in my opinion, she's the funniest of them all because it doesn't make any sense for a cow to have big feet and her body to be Saturn. That doesn't make any sense. But one thing I want to see is if she's stronger than the other characters. So that's why the first battle will be against Chimpanzini Bananini. Who do you think will win? And Chimpanzini Bananini won. So he gets a diamond block and the cow gets a redstone block. The second battle will be against Tralalero Tralala. So let's see who will win this battle. Let's go! I think Tralalero Tralala will win, and he did. So he wins a diamond block and she wins another redstone block. And the next battle will be against Tung Sahur. Let's see who will win. Let's go! La Vaca is attacking a lot and she lost once again. Tung Sahur wins a diamond block and Vaca Saturno Saturnita wins a redstone block. So let's go to the next mob that I will transform, which will be the sheep. And it will become Capybarello Coccosini. So let's start erasing all the parts of the sheep's body, and I'll start making the Capybarello Coccosini with the body, which is the coconut. On top of the coconut, I'll make a cube like this, which will be the capybara's neck. Now, make its head, create a small cube like this to be an ear. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Underneath its body, I'll create a cube like this to be the leg. Create another cube to be the rest, and I'll make another cube like this to be the foot. Now, I'll select all the parts and copy them to the side and also to the back. And this is how the model of our Capybarello Coccosini turned out. To make the texture, first I'll start painting the parts that are the capybaras, which are the legs and the head, brown. As for the coconut, I'll paint it a slightly darker brown. On the top of the coconut, I'll paint it with a very light brown. Now that I have the color of each part defined, now it's time to improve this texture. And that's why I'm going to start by improving the coconut part, which will look more or less like this. I'm going to improve this lighter part of the coconut. I'm going to do the same thing on the legs. And for the head, I'm going to paint its snout a very dark brown. I'm going to make an eye like this, paint the ears like this, and this is how Capybarello Coccosini turned out here in Minecraft. Guys, she's really funny and really cute. Just look at her size. These characters really don't make any sense. She's literally a capybara with a coconut body. Who created this trend? Guys, this doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I really liked having capybaras added to Minecraft. Even though she has a coconut body, I found her really cute. But now, I want to see if Capybarello Coccosini can be stronger than the other characters. And the first character she'll face will be Chimpanzee Bananini. And Capybarello Coccosini is attacking him, and she's going to win. Look, he's not hitting her at any point, and Capybarello Coccosini won! Now the battle will be against Tralalero Tralala. Let's see. Capybarello Coccosini is attacking really fast. Just look. And she won once again. The next battle will be against Tung Sahur. Let's see. Capybarello Coccosini is winning. She's attacking him, and Tung Sahur won. The next battle will be against La Vaca Saturno Saturnita. Let's see. Come on. Capybarello Coccosini and Vaca Saturno Saturnita won. But since she lost 3 times, she'll be the weakest character of all. And since we need to decide who's the strongest, the next battle will be between Chimpanzini Bananini and Tung Sahur. Come on, the battle has begun. And who will win? Who are you rooting for? Come on, come on. Who's gonna win? Let me see. And Chimpanzini Bananini won. The next battle will be between Tralalero Tralala versus Capybarello Capybarello Coccosini. Another battle has begun, and let's see who will be the winner of this battle. Come on! And Capybarello Coccosini won. And since these two characters lost, the next battle will be between them. Who will win? And whoever loses will be in second to last, and Tralalero Tralala won. That means that Tung 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 Sahur came in second to last. Tralalero Tralala came in third place. And now, Chimpanzini Bananini and Capybarello Coccosini will fight for the podium. So come on! Let the battle begin. Let's see who will win. Guys, who are you rooting for? Comment below. And let's see, and Chimpanzini Bananini won. And he came in first place, which means he's the strongest character of all. If you were rooting for him, comment below. And take the opportunity to give me ideas for other characters I can do. And if you liked this video, take the opportunity to subscribe and watch this video that's appearing here on the screen.